Hey everyone, my name is Gamer Corey and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. Now in this video we are going to be developing a very simple and probably what a majority people will be needing for of their trading halls here in Minecraft. So I want to show you guys kind of the setup that I have here. I've developed something that's a little bit more complex, but honestly I don't think that I'm probably only like 5 to 10% of people would probably find it useful. So if you guys want to see a tutorial on that, then definitely leave a comment down below. But we're going to be building this very basic and simple trading hall. Now, I like this for a couple different reasons. Number one is I've got these lights on the floor so you can easily identify which villagers you guys are currently working on. So I have obviously the villagers here, and I've also got the villagers here, and I've got their zombies down below. Now, I haven't even looked at these guys, their trades yet, but we have Aqua Affinity here, so we can definitely go ahead and trade with this guy. Otherwise, what we could do is we can actually lower him by clicking on this note block right here, and he's going to get lowered, and this light will pop on, so if you're like down the hallway, you can actually clearly see that that is being triggered, and then you know exactly what cell you're working on. I've also put in some barrels here for ease of use. So if you guys are storing like your golden apples or even some of your weakness potions, that's a great spot to go ahead and do that. And then whenever they're either converted to a villager, a zombie, or you're just done with them being lowered, you can actually go ahead and raise them up. Say like, okay, he didn't get converted, I'm gonna go and do something else. Then you can actually bring them up. There are a lot of other complicated, more tutorials that are out there, and they use like rails across the top here. But if you guys actually come around the backside and remove these sea lanterns, what you guys can actually see is this spot is actually already kind of used. So if you guys wanted to actually put some rails down back here, that would actually be a way to do it. And you could actually just bring them in right into here. The reason that I'm not showing off the more complex one right off the bat is because the majority of players will never use it. And once you actually get villagers into place, you're probably never going to move them. So we can actually just go ahead and kind of recover them back. What are you doing, buddy? You're not wanting to go down there? Okay, that's cool. I guess only one wanted to be covered back up. So anyway, what you could do is actually just go ahead and lower them down, and then you could actually put the blocks back in place, making sure that they are given enough light to do whatever they're doing. And this guy doesn't want to be on the trap door apparently, so there you go. Get down in your hole there, little buddy. Perfect. All right, so let's go and raise those villagers back up. I really like that. The other thing that I really enjoy about this one is they can't see each other. So if I affect this one, you can see that his trade is actually going up, but if I go to the next one here, his trades aren't affected. So if you really wanted to kill one off, you definitely could, but it's completely up to you guys. So I want to show you guys exactly how to build this block for block. However, we're not going to be doing the detailing work because that's kind of up to you guys. Now, you guys are going to need this block here, which I definitely recommend that you guys put barrels because it'll make it easier, or having like chests every so often with your supplies that are in it. But the reason that I like the barrels is you can put them into tight places like this and having a full block on top of them. I like that a lot. All right, so let's go over here to the chest right here. This is everything that we're going to need, unless you want your barrels. So let's go ahead and grab that, because you know what? We'll add that. But these are the supplies that you're going to need in order to create this, and this is what it actually looks like down below. So it is relatively easy. So this is per cell that you guys will need in order to make it. And these are like building block ideas for what I have up here. So just get the list of everything that you guys are going to need. Obviously, you're not going to have villager and zombie eggs in survival world, but there we go. I'm going to explain a few other things too while we're actually building this. So let's just go ahead and kind of get started. Now, the first thing you want to do is dig a trench of 3 down below, and you're going to want to grab whatever building block that you're actually using. In this case, I'm going to be using smooth stone. And then you're actually going to go up 1, kind of like that over there. And then you're going to fill all of this with redstone dust, if I can actually place it on the right spot. On the last one here, that's the lowest one, you're going to place a observer facing downwards so that it triggers up. And then you're going to want to get your sticky pistons. So let's actually get that out right now. And then you're going to want to go ahead and place a sticky piston here with a redstone block right there. And then what you're going to want to do is just leave that for the time being because it's actually going to about to get triggered here. You're going to want to come over. Let's see, 1, and we're going to go up 1 right there. And this is where our note block is going to go. And then what we want to do is we want to put an observer facing into that note block, and it's going to shift like that. Now this is where we want to go ahead and place our redstone lamp. And then we can actually go ahead and just fill in the back spot there. And then you can actually just fill it around here. Now over there, I actually used like half slabs to fill around the note block because that way it's easier to actually hit that note block like this. But it's up to you what you would really prefer to do. If you want it full blocks, then you can do that. And if you don't want to make this noise, then all you have to do is actually go ahead and place a button on the top of it, making sure that you're shifting to do that. And then there you go. And now it's a silent note block. So it's up to you if you want to have that button on there or not. So that's all you have to do. If you don't want this light right here, you actually don't need to put any of this here. You'd actually replace this redstone with a block. So then off this side, we're actually going to go ahead and put in our... so like basically what I'm trying to say is if you don't want to have that light and you don't really want the indication light and you only want to move this one, you just have to replace that with a block right there. And then you can save on your supplies. Now over here, we're going to go ahead and just kind of come out 2. We're going to go 1 and 2, and that's basically where our redstone block is actually going to go. And then what we're going to do from here is put in our sticky piston, and then we're going to put a trap door. Now you don't have to necessarily use an iron trap door. I prefer the iron. I think it just looks a little bit cleaner, but you can get away with any of the wood ones if you so desire. All right, so that is like kind of the main aspect of the build right there. All right, so from what you're going to want to do here is we're going to come down and go down 2 blocks. You're going to fill in right there, and you're going to use your torch right there. And then you're going to use your 2 pieces of carpet, and we're just going to go like that and like that. Now, the reason that I'm actually placing the carpet here is because other villagers can't pathfind to the lectern that you're going to be using, which I didn't grab one because you can use whatever of the, workstations that you guys would prefer. In this case, we'll just use the lectern. So other villagers can't pathfind to this one. So if there's other villagers wandering around in the trading hall, so say maybe you have a breeding chamber set up really close by and one gets out, they won't come and try to use this one. It will be impossible for them to use it. And even other villagers, so we'll give you an example by coming back over here. This villager that I've noticed in some designs, this villager will try to access this workstation by making this a full block. So if we move this note block in 1, it would make it a little bit more convenient for us if we could do that. But then there is a potential that that villager could pathfind somewhere else. There's ways to prevent that by, putting like a trap door on the top of this if you really want to, which you definitely could anyway because it's going to definitely lock them in. So that way, if you ever need to like change their trade and say you haven't traded with this guy and you really want him to do something about it, you can get him to kind of change up a little bit. You can see that he's not wanting to change because it's not the right time of day. But we'll put that back for the time being. So that's the reason that I put it in the carpet. You don't have to. I've seen a lot of other people's designs where it just doesn't work the way that you would expect it to with it. But now we actually have the whole mechanism basically up and running already, which is pretty awesome. Now what I do around here is this is where the zombie is going to basically be running in the background right there. And then what I do around this build right here is I like to put in some half slabs. So what I'll do is I'll put a half slab, here, and then I'll put a half slab here on this side, like that. And then what I do is I go up a block, and then that's going to be the full block, and then I put a half slab on the bottom of each of those. This will actually make it easier for the zombie to see them, and then, or you could even get rid of these if you really, really want to, because the zombie can't actually get into there. It'll just make it easier for the zombie to pathfind to where you want them to go, and the villager won't be able to actually go anywhere. So basically at the top here, so if we put in a villager, make sure we grab the right egg here. We can put a villager in like this, and they can't get out when it's lower because they're just too tall and they got this big nose. So what we could do is we can actually go ahead and put we can put some blocks around the back here to kind of fill in with our zombie, and then you could just do this so that the zombie doesn't get out. Let's do that. We'll do the same thing on this side, and we'll put like that, and now the zombie won't be able to get out, and then we can actually put in our zombie. Well, that one's not gonna work because that's it's a baby zombie. We wouldn't get we wouldn't want to have a baby zombie in this chamber. All right, let's try this again. There we go. Now we got a regular zombie. What are the chances of getting that 2 times in a row? So now what you can do, you can see that this we're gonna have to. This is where you'd put the light above them if you needed to. So I'm hoping that he doesn't die, but he might because, oh, he didn't die. Cool. So what I would recommend is that you guys put the light above. That's why we have the light in over here. Actually, on that side we took out, but this side we put in. You can see that it's nice and clear there. And then what you're doing is just raise him up, and now he's ready for doing whatever. Now, if you really want to add something, this is where I would put the barrel. So let's see if we can actually kind of snag this in here real quick. We can do that, and then we can do that on both sides. And then now you have access to a lot of different potential with storage when it comes to like the golden apples and your potion of weakness. Now, I'm just going to build another one of these segments just real quick for you guys, so you guys can actually go ahead and see how it's actually done. It's very, very, very simple. Dig down 3, and we're going to put stone here, up a stone, and then we're going to cover that with redstone, just like that. We're going to grab our observer facing into that redstone with a piston and a redstone block facing that way. We're going to put in our note block now. We're going to put that here, and then we want to grab our observer facing into that block. It's going to push it, and now you can actually go ahead and fill in everything else with a redstone lamp just like that. And then we can surround this side with a slab. See how it is? This makes it a little bit easier if you want to replace it with this one and this one, so it's easier from the front side. You can definitely do that as well. Put a button on top of it so it's nice and quiet now, except for just the piston noises. What we're going to do is we're going to come off of this one right here, and we're going to go ahead and place ourselves a torch, and then we're going to go ahead and do carpet. That prevents pathfinding. And then we got another lectern here. And then you're going to come down below, and what you're going to do is you're going to grab your sticky piston right off of that redstone dust, and then you're going to go and do a redstone block there with a sticky piston facing upwards. If I can get it to face upwards, let's go around over here, just like that. And then what you do is put a trapdoor on the top of it, and then we're going to come down here, break that one out. We're going to put a half slab there, just like that. So that will make it easier for the zombie to pathfind to that villager. You saw it the first time. As soon as we put in the zombie, he went right to him. So if we actually put in another villager here, we can actually probably see that he'll probably actually come over right away. And then we can push the button, and he's nice and low. And the villager or the zombie should pathfind towards it, hopefully very, very quickly. He might be locked on to something else over there. But if you build this any further than, say, 10 spots, I definitely recommend that you have more villagers or more zombies per villagers. Just because, break it up a little bit more, because otherwise it will sometimes take a long time for one of the zombies to go from that location down to the other way. Yeah, he's definitely locked on to something over there. I'm not sure what he thinks he sees. But then whenever we're done, you can just go ahead and click on that again, and you are good to go. So the stuff that I showed you guys in the chest at the beginning, pretty much everything you're going to need per slice, and it's not super red source intensive. And like I said, a lot of the other builds you're not really going to need. And then you can just decorate this up however you guys would really like. Now I just kind of grabbed some quartz and some quartz stairs. You could use, some other quartz stuff if you really, really, really want to. Say if you wanted the quartz pillar, even the new quartz blocks that are available in the new updates, and you could just kind of decorate this really, however you really, really want to. You make it look super fancy. Oh, and this guy's gonna get out. But anyway, guys, that is a very basic villager trading hall setup, and it is super, super easy. And honestly, a majority of people will be using a design like this because you don't need anything super, super fancy. However, I will come up with another design. I will be featuring my other design that I will be using in my survival world. Just I know a majority of people aren't really going to have any interest in it, to be completely honest. But if you guys want to see that, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. It would help me out a lot and is greatly appreciated. But until next time, YouTube, you guys keep doing what you're doing because you're already doing it. And you guys, stay gaming.